Liv Morgan just dropped some serious hints, or maybe even an outright demand for a dream match that has been on the minds of fans worldwide. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down Liv Morgan's recent comments where she passionately advocates for a specific showdown in WWE. Who is this lucky opponent? What makes this match solely highly anticipated? And more importantly, could we actually see this dream become a reality in the near future? Let's deep dive into Liv Morgan's bold push for a WWE Dream match that everybody wants to see. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio have been proven to be quite the duo in WWE and now are eager to take on another wrestling power couple. Speaking with Khalil now, the Judgment Day members was asked about a dream match, and oh, did Liv Morgan have an immediate answer. Before we get into that, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button for more wrestling content. Because if you go back to 2024, Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, they became a powerful duo. It was Liv Morgan, as part of her revenge tour, went and took away Dirty Dominic Mysterio away from Rhea Ripley. Well, why did she do that? Well, Mommy and Dominic Mysterio, they were a powerful duo way before Liv and Dirty Dom was. And because Liv Morgan was taking Rhea Ripley's championship, injuring Rhea Ripley, she had to also get close to Dominic and get part of the Judgment Day, effectively kicking out Rhea Ripley. And that's exactly what happened before they went on a very long run in a rivalry that spanned from April 2024 to January 6th, where Liv Morgan ultimately dropped the Raw uh, crown, if you will, because the Women's World Championship shifted hands and went from Liv to Rhea Ripley. Now, this is what Liv Morgan had to say. It is Dominic and I versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. That would be fire. So good. Now, keep in mind that Punk and Mysterio, well, they already have a history. Kick it back for a minute. Dirty Dom was CM Punk's first opponent back in WWE following his 2023 return. And while AJ and Liv have yet to share the ring, the reigning women's tag team champion hopes to change that very soon. While the wrestling world recently reached its mark of 10 years since we've seen AJ Lee's latest match, which was on the post WrestleMania 31 episode of Monday Night Raw, Liv is among those hoping for a return. Liv and Dominic plan on dominating both in and out of the ring now that WWE Monday Night Raw is absolutely soaring on Netflix. Now, Morgan, she argued that it's time for her and Dominic to receive the spotlight of the streaming juggernaut. She said, if Netflix was smart, they'd put us in all of the rom-coms because Dominic and I are the most dominant, hottest, most iconic, most powerful, most sought after, the most watched, the most hated, the most envied couple in WWE history. Now, while the pair does regularly appear on Netflix as part of Monday Night Raw, the duo has yet to get their own show. Regardless, that would be entertaining. That would be a sight to see, if you will, to have them be part of some type of reality show, maybe even a scripted show. I don't know what. Who knows, right? It's Netflix. Who knows what's going on with there. Now, let's shift gears. Let's talk about AJ Lee for a minute, shall we? Is there a realistic possibility that Liv Morgan has the sway, the power, if you will, to bring back AJ Lee? I would say that she does. I think you could go in multiple ways if you're AJ Lee, if you're WWE. Does the idea of bringing back AJ Lee in a mixed tag team role with her husband CM Punk to go up against Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan make sense? Yes, it does. As Liv Morgan outlined, there's a lot of history between Dominic and Punk. Does a Liv Morgan versus AJ Lee match make sense? Yes, it does. Is it a money match? Yes, it is. Does it make storyline sense? Yes, it does. Now, I can see how some people would go, Dirty Dominic Mysterio needing help from his girl. So that would make sense, right? Because he's always a fighting underneath type heel, always trying to cheat, always trying to get the advantage, if you will. And that would lead to credence to having a mixed tag team match. They did something similar a few years ago where Edge and Beth Phoenix worked a match against The Miz and Maurice, right? It was either Elimination Chamber, Fastlane, one of the pay-per-views before WrestleMania a few years ago. So you could absolutely do that, right? Now, I would say though, the wide majority of fans out there, if you had the choice, the booking power, if you were Triple H, do you bring AJ Lee back for a singles match or do you bring AJ Lee back for a mixed tag team match? I'm going to go out on a limb with a bold prediction and say that I think it is leaning towards a singles match. Most people would want to see her in a singles match. Most people would want to see her have the spotlight. 10 years away, something in which a lot of people did not think would happen or could happen or can happen, I should say. Yeah, you would probably want to book her in a singles match. And as much of a Liv Morgan fan that I am, you would probably want to go with the biggest match possible. Um, and then that would lead to debate. Now, is doing Liv Morgan versus AJ Lee a fun match? Is it a top tier match? Yes. But I also think there are bigger matches out there, a la AJ Lee, Charlotte Flair. If you're, because AJ is going to come back as babyface, right? So you have to kind of match her with heels. You could bring her back and she could work, Rhea Ripley's or your Bianca Belair's, etc. But I think you would want to pair her as a babyface with a heel. So you go down the list. Tiffany Stratton, I don't see that necessarily being a money match, and she's kind of a babyface right now. You have Charlotte Flair, which I think is the number one match because there's so many holes. That storyline makes the most sense because Charlotte Flair is what AJ Lee, at least back 10 years ago, was what AJ Lee stood against, right? The imagery, the way that the company wanted their stars, yada yada yada, right? The whole Divas thing. So I think Charlotte Flair versus AJ Lee is a much better matchup, but you could certainly go Liv Morgan. You can make the argument, hey, we need a top tier heel to work with AJ in her return match, and we need for that heel to put over AJ. Is Liv Morgan okay with doing that? I would say that she probably is, right? Or at least more willing to put over AJ Lee than a Charlotte Flair. I could be wrong, but I just think that would be how the dynamic works. I don't know. I hope we get to see that match. I hope we get to see the dream match. I hope we get to see Liv Morgan versus AJ Lee. But I just think most people just want to see AJ Lee back in the ring. And if it means she's in a singles match, go for it. If that means she's in a mixed tag team match, go for it. It doesn't matter. Just as long as we get AJ Lee in the ring, I think is what people would be pushing for. Hey, you thought we were done here. No, no, no. One quick thing. If you would, let me know your thoughts on this video. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did I get wrong? What did I get right? I'd love to hear your voice down below. Thanks for watching, y'all.